Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back and welcome newcomers to the channel. I hope you're having a fan-freaking-tastic day today. I have a brand spanking new model from Sencut to check out. I'm looking forward to it because this knife is like under $40. So anytime you hit the $39, $40 mark and you get a Sencut, it's probably gonna be good. I mean, I'm gonna set a dollar bill over here. That's gonna be my guess. That's gonna be my bet that this is gonna be a good one. Sencut's come in a really nice packaging. You have this case you can use. It has the nice microfiber cloth, couple stickers, a little bit of information, warranty stuff. And they do have a US warranty, by the way. All right, are you ready for this? This is the Sencut Aetheris. Would you look at it? Just look at it. All of its Aetherisness. And right out of the box, I am surprised. I did not know the knife was going to be this large. It is not a small knife. In the pictures, it looked a lot smaller. But this one, this is a pretty cool color. Kind of an ivory going on. There's 3 different variants. I might show them across your screen here in the next minute or two. But it has caged ceramic ball bearings, a captive pivot. It has all the stuff you like. Good blade steel. And I love that. Look at this. They put it inset into the liners, no screws sticking out, El Perfecto on the pocket clip, so you're not going to ever have any issues with that. And this is something that's very attractive, very, very attractive, is look at the liners. They're sitting just a little bit higher than the scales, so you get that Mr. Fancy Pants look without the Mr. Fancy Pants money. And let's see, the jimping up here, and leaves me wanting a little more. The jimping isn't very deep, like it's just not grabbing my skin like I prefer. That's a personal preference. We'll see how that operates here in just a second. Okay, are you ready? Pow, right in the kisser. Oh my. Look at that. It's there you go. You know, unless we find something wrong with this knife, that is a perfect looking folding pocket knife. Oh my gosh. That has all the looks, all the stuff that we go for. And since we have it on the table, we'll get a couple numbers out of the way. That way we can get to the fun part. It's coming in at 8.5 inches. It's an 8.5er. And your blade is 3.7 inches, but sharpen length is 3.5 inch. So it's a 3.5 inch blade. That's not too shabby. Your handle length is 3.8 inches. And let's see, the height of your blade is coming in right there at the 1 inch mark. So, you know, is that a hollow grind? What? Hold the bus. Is this a hollow ground blade? What is going on? For the price? Look at that. So we have a hollow ground blade, 9CR18 MOV steel. Wow. Okay. I did not know it was a hollow ground blade. Here's a couple size references for you. Here's the Sencut Saxy, if you're a Sencut fan, and here's the Civivi Elementum, the Elementum 2 button lock. So hold those there just for a second so you can take a screenshot if you want, in case you have one of those knives. And of course, you know, we got to show the QSP Penguin, because everybody needs a penguin, right? We're going to check out the action fit figure, the ergos, all that fun stuff here in just a second. Here is the Vosted raccoon. Now, if you have a raccoon, look at that. That's a lot more knife. Oh my goodness. And oh my gosh, I'm just very excited and blown away. I did not know this was going to be a hollow ground blade. I really love hollow ground blades. It's nice, and it's not super like laser beam thin behind the edge, but it is thinner behind the edge because, you know, they took advantage of being able to make that a hollow grind. Let's see how much this bad boy weighs. It's coming in at, are we wanting to measure in pounds? This knife is how many pounds? Do you like your knife to weigh poundages? It's coming in at 3.99. So it's a 4-ounce knife right there on the 4-ounce mark for a 3.5 inch blade. That's not too shabby. All right, now let's check out a couple things. Left and right, up and down, it's rock solid, zero movement whatsoever. And our lockup is right there in the middle, which is very nice, very, very nice. And it is dead centered. Oh my goodness. So my hand is 4 inches from here to here, 3.5 from here to here, and from the bottom of my palm to the tip of my middle finger is 7.25. And yep, look at that, nice neutral ergos, not a bunch of bumps in weird places to stick me in the hand. So just in the classic grip, pushing it like this, I'm actually squeezing down and bearing down, and there are no hot spots. They did a really good job. Oh my, this is nice, and it's gonna fit XL hands. I have a wide width hand, so you XLers, guys with the chunky fingers, bigger hands, plenty of room. Oh my goodness, for 40 doll hairs, this is a great work in the yard style knife, just an everyday banger. And let's check out the action here. Let's see. So it's a little tighter. It's not drop shutty like a lot of Sencuts are, but it's still very smooth. I'm not feeling the ball bearings. It's just a little tighter feel, which some folks like a little tighter feel, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's very nice. The thumb studs, operating very good. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's just check out. So the jimping on the back here, that's the only thing that I'm a little disappointed about, is just not very grippy. Not that you have to have it, because here's a push button. Look at that. The push button's very easy on it. The light switch is easy. Can we reverse flick this bad boy? Yes, a very easy reverse flick. There's not a ton of room, but there's adequate enough room to get your finger back behind there to flick it open. So that's very nice. And then they put a big choil up on the front, and oh my. So this is very nice. I like what they've done here with this knife. They have the blacked out version, which looks very nice. It has black hardware, blacked out blade. The only thing that's not blacked out is the Sencut on the blade. If that would have been blacked out, it would have even been more blacked out. You can also get the OD green with the black blade. Anytime you have OD green with a blacked out or a stonewash blade, it's always gonna look very nice, very, very nice. So whether you've been into knife collecting for 50 years or you're just getting into it, Sencut is a fantastic way to get some more knives into your collection, right? Me, I like quantity as much as I like quality, and these have both. 9CR18 MOV is a great mid-range steel. It's easy to sharpen up. It's not a chippy steel, so if you're cutting through stuff and you hit something, you're more apt to roll the edge than to chip it, which is a good thing because it's going to be easier to hone back up and strop back up once you've done a lot of work with it. I grab a Sencut when I'm doing something around the house and I know I'm going to get down and dirty and gritty with it and I'm going to be a little rough on it. I'm not worried about having to spend a long sharpening session sharpening it back up, because 9CR18 MOV is a fantastic steel if you're just getting into knife sharpening and you don't have the skills yet and you're still learning how to hold your angles and things like that. I would recommend starting with a steel like this before D2. Whereas D2 is a harder steel, it's going to take a little more action, a little more skill. If you go with 9CR as a learning steel to sharpen with, and especially one that's not super thick, this one here, with it being a hollow ground blade, and it's going to be a little thinner behind the edge, I say this is a fantastic knife. One of these like this, or one like this that has a taller grind. This is the Sencut Saxy that has a taller grind, so it's not going to be super thick behind the edge, and it's 9CR18 MOV. That's going to be a perfect place to start to hone your sharpening skills, because the thing is, it's not going to take a lot of passes to get that burr on the other side and then swap it over. That's the whole thing, is when you have a harder steel like D2 or on up, and you don't have that muscle memory yet, you're more apt to take longer to get to that edge, and there are more passes and more opportunities to lose your angle and screw it up and have to start over. So I love it. That's just a little tidbit on 9CR18 MOV steel. But other than that, Sencuts are fantastic. And this one here is going to fit small, medium, large, extra large hands, hollow ground blade. That's just a perfect everyday carry folding pocket knife. That's what that is. It's no thrills, no frills, nothing super fancy. You're not having to spend 80, 90 bucks on it. 39, 40 bucks for whatever version. I think it's fantastic. Nothing bad to say about it. I say go get you one. Look at that. Really easy. There's not a big cutout, but it's easy to disengage. Buttery smooth. I'm not having to dig my thumb down in there. That's just a perfect pocket knife. Let me know if you got one, if you're thinking about them, or how long have you been into knives? Did you just get into them, or have you been into them for a long time? You're like, you know what? That's not too bad for 40 bucks. But let me know down in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed. Go hit that video or check that one out. And until I see you again in the lives or the chats or the hive streams, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.